then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the Jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my Jag talk it. I eat, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad. But I'm past that, but a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Hey. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that?
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
It's game situation. Let's go. Motion.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, come on, no. I got it. Out to the go. 47's the mark. Let's go.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for first.
Mark the set. Ready, team. Mark 30 yards. I'm not ready. Down and go.
Watson now to throw. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 38. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, there has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Check 55. Defense wins championships, baby. 55. Who that?
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. On 1st down, here's Breida. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Jaguars' 48-yard line.
Reset. 19. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Check, check. Coming. At 59. 25. Check 25. Alert. 25.
They'll toss it to Breida. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Mark 38, Mark 38, and 59. He ain't giving up nothing to Jack.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right, number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now this time he'll look to throw. Looking long for Westbrook. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
5. Check back. 41's the mic. Recon, 132 fighter. Let's go, D. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
At the 13-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
He's coming to you. He's coming to you. Motion. Line him up.
They go counter with Breida. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Jaguars 7, Texans nothing.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Mark 38. Mark 38. Mark 38. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. 38 to Mike. Come on. Come on, D.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
44's Mike. Check. Oh, here we go. Oh, 44's the Mike. Hey, 59. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up.
Back to throw, Watson. And an alley to run. 22 yards on the pickup there. And that'll bring up 4th down. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick: make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Minshew. Carlos Watkins busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark, 99 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. So how about that for a backbreaker? Again, 99 yards.
And how about the audacity of the play call? When you're backed up that close to your goal line, usually you're just trying to run some type of a wedge play, a quarterback sneak, a dive, anything to try and create some room and take care of the ball. But that's confidence in your offensive line that they'll protect the guy throwing it, and he finds his guy for 99 yards. I love what they just did.
That's it, baby. We're going to
Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
all day, every day, any day. 47 Mike, 47 Mike, Mike 47. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Let's go.
Now Watson. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
I'm coming for you, son. Go out.
On 2nd and 9, Minshew. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there. And there we saw completion.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll try to throw for it with Minshew. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
We own them. So there's the mic. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now it's Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
So there's the mic. I smell fear in that offense.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. They run forward, Breida. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Fofo's the mic. Mike's Fofo. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
From the gun, here's Watson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught.
Let's go, baby.
Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Watson on 1st down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Let's go. Fofo's the mic. Mike.
Here's Watson. And Thomas has it. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Push him back. Check. Lucky.
The final shot before the break. Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for the Jags' first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
He's coming. We got double up. Get it.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Big stop, D. X3. 218, chop it. Check hot route. Check down.
On 2nd down, Minshew. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not because you get...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Here we go, set. 18 Gator. Here we go. Hey, echo. Set, go. 55. Go.
So 3rd and long, here's Minshew. He's got his tight end O'Shaughnessy. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Mike 38, Mike 38.
Throwing again is Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Mike 38, Mike 38.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10.
Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
46-yard line.
Let's get it.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch right, we got right.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 23-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Throwing on first down is Minshew. He's going to go up top, and it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy.
They've got his man complete. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive,
That does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Watch the safety creep. Bam. Check 9. What?
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Let's go.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a handoff here to his running back. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Houston. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
All day, defense, all day. What? 41 to
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh. Watch tight end. Going down. Check 99. Check 99. But 41 Mike. Take it, go.
Out of the gun is Minshew. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run, the best runs for the top running back. those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
They run again with Breida. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. The Texans on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
47's the mic. 47. Go. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. No gain on this defense.
Go.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. The pickup there, 5 yards. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
4th down, even. 45. Key in.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Here's a toss right side for Breida. Nifty move. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Mike 38.
To throw is Watson. Looking again for Thomas. This time complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 21. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Snags it for the pick. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Chopper!
check.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
First down, Jaguars.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Fournette, a first down carry. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that. They held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Jacksonville, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.